All right, Kristina. I wanted to just walk you through this a little bit because it took a little bit more thought and planning than what most shoots do. And we had a few ideas as well that we wanted to explain just a little bit further. So I thought it'd be good to just kind of create this short little video and walk you through this PDF. So, option number one, and this is kind of basing everything off of Filoli. So, we would do one that's just based on the conservatory, so this garden area right here, and I'm pretty sure that is included in just general admission. I don't think we have to pay to go inside, but I need to call and make sure. I did try to call, but just got their voicemail, so hopefully we can get some more information about this. But the idea is to create basically two looks at Filoli. So in the garden, it would be that very Dolce & Gabbana feel and look. And I even thought about possibly, and I really think we can pull this off if this is something that you love, but thinking about creating some installation. So bringing a florist on board and having her create some pieces. And I have some ideas that I'll send you a Pinterest board. If this idea is kind of something you love, we can explore that further. But before I reached out to anybody or started talking about ideas, I wanted to just see if this was something you were interested in. So this conservatory would be very Dolce & Gabbana, very Vogue-esque, lots of more traditional posing and classic portraiture here. And then the Filoli garden part, so you'll see like the two parts over here, that's more of our what I would call lifestyle types of shooting. So we would have you change into something a little bit more comfortable, or if we're running out of time, we can just keep you in the same looks, but just kind of pare it down a little bit, and I'll explain that a little bit more. So, with attire for this, I have for right now, keeping you in the same outfits for both the conservatory part and the gardens part. And I'm really thinking that to pull this look off, we're going to need to find you a designer dress, whether you're renting it or I've had clients get something from Nordstrom and then just bring it back afterwards. So we're really careful with it and they'll just bring it back. Sometimes I'm able to reach out to designers and see if we can borrow something for the day, especially if it's just for a shoot inside the conservatory. I'm pretty sure that we might be able to pull that off too. So depending on what you're finding and what you're needing and wanting, we can both work on that for you. The oversized earrings, I know you'd mentioned this before, but I kind of played off the idea of your lemons, and it's something that we can maybe even look for together, or I can help create. I've done a few pieces like this for couples in the past, but um, depending on the color scheme and the tones, you talked about red and in the beginning, and I know you loved those tile dresses by Dolce and Gabbana. So depending on the look and feel that you end up gravitating towards, we can kind of custom make or find something based on that. And then these unique hair pieces. Dolce and Gabbana is known for, their studded hair pieces and kind of outlandish but yet sophisticated feel, and I just love it. So I thought that this could be an optional fun thing to do, but not necessarily something you absolutely need, but it could be something fun to play around with, and even if it's just for a few shots. All right, and then Mike. So I had a hard time kind of figuring out how we're going to make Mike look classic and yet just more chic, more that higher end, again, Dolce and Gabbana type of look, but without being so out there, I guess. So what we kind of came up with was some type of colored suit. So whether that's navy or an olive or brown or maroon, if he already has something that's really nice and tailored and slim fit, or if he needs to go out and find something, try to give some options. But we're thinking of colored suits, basically nothing black or gray. And then instead of doing a tie, so he would have an open shirt, but doing one of these beautiful silk scarves. And there's different ways he could wear it depending on what he kind of likes and is gravitating towards. But I loved both these options, something just nice and kind of laid back and easy like this one, or something a little bit more where he's tying it almost like an ascot, just a little bit more sophisticated in a way. And then a patterned silk scarf and a matching lapel pin or some type of small lapel pin that kind of heralds back to your jewelry. So maybe we find one that has a little lemon on it if we're doing the lemons, or maybe just a tiny little stud diamond or something. And I'm also thinking that patterned silks that you guys find for him somehow is matching the gown or dress that you're choosing here. So whether that's more of a floral print, if you decide to go more on the botanical side, then we want his to be in that color scheme, and maybe more botanical. Where if you're going a little bit more on the tiled patterns or Spanish types of feels, then we want his patterns to kind of just match that. Nothing like too matchy, but basically just complementing each other, if that makes sense. So, with these options, one of the things I was seeing was that we only have an hour and a half, it looks like, with the typical shoots. So that's something we want to consider too, is possibly purchasing more time, or I'm not really sure how this works. This will be the first time we're shooting there, even though I've seen a lot of other people do some beautiful things. I'm really excited about these ideas, and I'm hoping even we've got a friend who's doing a lot of stuff for us that owns a magazine, and he's an amazing stylist, and so he might be able to help us pull some of these big ideas off too, which I'm super excited about. So if you're loving this, I think we should consider some more time with Filoli, and possibly I don't know what they would call it, paid shoot or paid extra hour, or however that works, because I think we'll need probably 2 hours in here if we can, rather than just that hour and a half. So a little bit more time would be great. All right, option 2. So this is more of a casual, laid back day, and you talked about an SF bar and kind of that iconic SF feel. And so what I was thinking is so if we decide to do this day, this timeline, we would start with the bar and some iconic architecture. So we can do some things inside or outside of City Hall, kind of like this couple here that we shot. And I loved that like tropical feel as I was looking at Dolce & Gabbana's runway show earlier, and I found this bar. It's called Leo's Oyster Cafe, I think. I'll have to double check on that, but Leo's Oysters right here has these beautiful wallpapers and just really fun design feel. So I thought, and that's in the financial district, and we've shot around there too and has some beautiful architecture that we can take. But so this first part of the day is what we would spend with you before going to Filoli, because we want to just get you kind of just prepared, and so that when we go to the gardens, we are not having to spend quite as much time going over things. It will be, kind of getting your jitters out during this portion of the day. Really fun, really simple and easy. And then this Filoli garden would basically be mostly kind of that lifestyle feel, and we can do a few more of the conservatory type of portraits, but we wouldn't have time to do the whole bring in a florist installation type of thing. We would just pare it down quite a bit. So we could still obviously do a little bit of what I talked about before. It would just be on a much smaller scale. So for outfits for San Francisco, this is kind of what I was thinking, but you guys in your personal style, you're able to, of course, mix and match and do what you need to do to feel comfortable. That's our most important thing for you guys, is to feel comfortable. But for you, Kristina, a cocktail dress of some sort, fun colors is always kind of nice, especially if we're doing something like back here with Leo's. I think that would just be fun to have kind of a neat pattern or texture or something like here. Fun colored shoes. So these little blue with the fun points, little details like this, and her earrings are going to be, those little things are going to bring a lot of style into your shoot. Coat or trench is a great thing to have, again, just kind of as an accessory. You're able to use that in different ways in photographs. And then sunglasses for the both of you as an optional thing. We had a couple here who had their sunglasses on one day when we were doing their engagement session, and they were going to take them off. We're like, no, keep them. You should keep them for a few shots. And I just love the way they turned out. And again, I think it's a great extra look without really having to do much for it. So optional, but something I would suggest that could be fun. And then for Mike, really simple classic type of stuff. So a classic suit, he can do any color here. He could even keep with the same suit that he would do at Flowly if it's a navy color. Just coordinating ties, so whatever color you're doing here, that his tie coordinates but doesn't necessarily match. So if you have a red dress, you want his tie to have some reds in it. You don't want him to have a red tie, but maybe like a paisley or some type of design that has some reds in it, but not fully red. That makes sense. So again, coordinating, not matching. That's key here for these. So yeah, quickly to recap, you've got two options. So option one is doing everything at Filoli, so doing that highly model, like stylized types of shoots, Vogue type of shoot, and the conservatory gardens here, and then doing the lifestyle session afterwards here, or we might flip-flop those depending on which, but basically your whole shoot would be here at Filoli Gardens, just two different looks, two different feels. And then your attire for Filoli. Even if we do the San Francisco, this will still be your attire for Filoli. And then option two, the San Francisco and Filoli Gardens. So we would be doing a heavy lifestyle at a bar that we choose together, along with some iconic architecture. So having you walk through the streets, and we can go around City Hall, because I know you loved that, the architecture of that building. And then we'd make our way to Filoli Gardens, and we would basically be doing quick version of our Vogue styled shoot in the conservatory without any installations or anything, along with a few more lifestyle types of shots here. So yeah, those are our two options. Let me know what you think, and we will just kind of continue to refine outfits and locations, and yeah, go from there.